What's up, nerds? It's Pat from the Nerd You're Looking For podcast, and today we are going to discuss the big Madden NFL football news that was just announced late last week. The creative director for the last 6 years for these games, a guy named Rex Dickson, which is a really douchey name, by the way. He basically looks like if the Pawn Star guy was on steroids. Took to Twitter late last week and officially confirmed some of the rumors that had been going around that he is in fact leaving the company. He wrote in that statement, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to kind of take a little bit here and there and kind of paraphrase a little bit. But basically what he said is, we collectively agreed that this was the best path forward for everyone involved. And he also goes on to say that there was absolutely no story or drama behind it. Obviously, I don't have any insider information, but when somebody feels the need to say that there's no story or drama, I guarantee you there are two things. One, there is a story, and two, that story has drama. There's no reason to even put that in your statement if there wasn't those two things. And honestly, if it was any other studio, I don't know if this would even make the news, but it has made the rounds on all the big gaming websites. IGN, all these other gaming websites have had their token story about this. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that EA, rightfully so, has this reputation in the gaming community for being super shady. So anything weird that happens with that studio is going to make news. I'm assuming, since you are watching this video, that you know what happened surrounding their big title, their big Star Wars title last year. Battlefront 2 was riddled with microtransactions that severely impacted gameplay. And the gamers, as a community, basically put their foot down and was like, there's no way that we're going to allow this. So they basically just collectively said, nah, brah. I myself actually canceled my pre-order. I was really looking forward to Battlefront 2 because they finally announced that there would be a single-player campaign in that game, which was lacking from the first Battlefront game, which was super disappointing. That first game felt like it was half of a game because it didn't have a campaign. So I was really excited. As soon as they had announced that this one, Battlefront 2, would have a campaign, I immediately pre-ordered it. But I canceled that pre-order once the news broke how bad, just unbelievably bad, these microtransactions were. And of course, there's other things that go around with EA. Like, they literally put a lot of other studios' football games out of business when they had the exclusive agreement. I mean, this is decades ago with the NFL. I mean, they literally signed an agreement where they're the only ones that could have licensed video games with the NFL. So they've been doing really shady shit for a long time now. So when you have a guy that's creative like this guy clearly is, he's an artist, nobody wants to work for this company, this evil empire. My guess, once he decided to leave the company, A, like I said, there's definitely story and there's definitely drama. And B, it tells you something about the direction that these games are going to take. My guess is that they're going to put even more emphasis on Madden Ultimate Team. If you're not aware, Madden Ultimate Team is basically the Madden Football equivalent of fantasy football. I believe it was first introduced in Madden 11, but it really wasn't a big part of that game, and people really complained. It's funny thinking about it now, but people really complained about the contracts and how they had to spend real money to renew these guys' contracts. If you got a good card, I think you only had 10 contracts or something like that. That was a real complaint that people had when that game first, well, at least that game mode was first announced. And now basically you have to spend money on pretty much everything in Madden Ultimate Team. I experienced that firsthand last year. So I've been much more of a franchise guy when I play Madden. I hadn't really ever gotten into Madden Ultimate Team until Madden 18, this past game. I finally said to myself, I was like, okay, I'm only getting about half of the gameplay as far as these games. I buy them every year, but I only really play the franchise, which is, I'm not really getting my money's worth, so to speak, with these games. So I'm going to finally sit down and play Madden Ultimate Team for the first time. And I really put a ton of time into this game. I probably put, I would say, at least 50 hours, at least, into just Madden Ultimate Team. That's not including the stuff that I had already put into the franchise mode. especially around what they had a harvest event around Thanksgiving. There was a Michael Irvin card that I wanted to boost all the way up to a 93 or 94. I can't remember exactly, but I ended up getting it. And I ended up boosting my overall team to about an 85. I think I had at least an 82 or 3 or higher in all of my positions. I was really, really psyched. I knew that my team wasn't perfect, but I was like, okay, well, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to jump in and play the season mode for Madden Ultimate Team. And I got absolutely destroyed. It was like my players were standing still. I mean, his players were just so far and away better than mine and so far and away faster than mine. And of course, it was my first year playing Madden Ultimate Team, so I knew that I wasn't going to have the perfect team, and I knew my team wasn't awesome, but I mean, I'm at an 85. I shouldn't be losing by like 4 touchdowns by halftime. It was super embarrassing. I've literally never been curb stomped like I was in that game. There's absolutely no way that that guy, given as much time as I put into it, didn't spend a single penny on Madden Ultimate Team. There's absolutely no way that that guy didn't spend money, just boatloads of money on that game. And unfortunately, I think it's only going to get worse. If a guy like this is leaving the company, there's obviously something behind that. And my guess is that they're going to make Madden Ultimate Team even a bigger thing, if you can imagine that, because it's basically the entire game now. Basically, the entire Madden franchise revolves around Madden Ultimate Team. And I get it, it's become this huge thing in the gaming community, but at the same time, it's already this huge thing. Why focus even more energy into it? I want to see you put some of that time and effort into the franchise mode. They had started a new game mode called Long Shot last year, which was kind of a story mode. Didn't really do what I wanted it to do. It felt like more drama than anything else. It was basically a soap opera with a little football pinched in. I kind of was hoping that it was going to be like a My Career from the NBA games. That game is just fantastic. It knows what it should be. Like, it literally took some of the microtransactions from Madden Ultimate Team, but mixed it with an actually really satisfying story mode. Essentially a single player campaign, really, in a franchise sports game. I think that's so cool. Well, maybe not the microtransactions thing. I know this most recent NBA game is really bad about the microtransactions. So I was really, really hoping that Long Shot would be that for Madden. And unfortunately, it's not. And hopefully, this guy leaving doesn't mean that they're going to completely throw away Long Shot, because I definitely think it's worth improving upon. They definitely should throw some more time and effort into the franchise mode and make it better. I saw a tweet a while back saying, and it may have been from this guy, so I don't know if it's still in the plans or not, but basically it was that they were going to put a lot more time and effort into the franchise mode, and there was going to be this huge improvement to the franchise mode, which got me super excited for Madden 18. I mean, I'm going to get this game no matter what, but I'm very, very nervous that Madden Ultimate Team is basically just going to take over. And I mean, eventually we're just going to have Madden Ultimate Team 20 or 21, or like, it's not even going to be called Madden Football anymore. It's just going to be called Madden Ultimate Team, because I feel like that's the path that they're taking, especially with somebody like this leaving. But that's just my humble opinion. If you nerds think that this is not that big of a deal, or this is not going to have that big of a impact on the franchise, definitely leave me a comment below. As always, I will put all the links to everything else, including the podcast and Nerd You're Looking For, in the video description below. For Patrick Kuhn, I am the Nerd You're Looking For. Take it easy, guys.